Hi there. In this video we are going to learn about geological landforms. For more such video, don't forget to subscribe. So, let's start today's topic.
Today in this video we are going to learn about glaciers. Geomorphic agent is glacier. Most of today's glacial landforms were created by the movement of large ice sheets during the Quaternary glaciations. The Pleistocene is the geological epoch which lasted from about 2,600,000 to 12,000 years ago, spanning the world's recent period of repeated glaciations. Landform developed due to glacial erosions are the cirque, glacial troughs, U-shaped valley, hanging valley, reefs, spurs, fjords and Piedmont lakes. Landform developed due to glacial deposition and moraine, lateral moraine, medial moraine, eskers, cave terraces, till deposits, drumlins, outwash deposits. Let's start with the cirque. A cirque is a landform which of an amphitheater-like valley head, formed at the head of a valley glacier by erosion. Cirque landforms, found among mountains as a result of alpine glaciers downhill side corresponding to the flatter area, surrounded on three sides by steep cliffs. Glacial troughs. U-shaped valley or glacial trough is formed by the process of glaciations. It has a characteristic U-shape, with steep, straight sides and a flat bottom. A V-shaped valley is transformed into a U-shaped valley through the glacial erosion processes of plucking and abrasion. Hanging valley. A hanging valley is a tributary valley with the floor at a higher relief than the main channel. The main glacier erodes a deep U-shaped valley with nearly vertical sides, while the tributary glacier, with a smaller volume of ice, makes a shallower U-shaped valley. Surfaces of the glaciers were originally at the same elevation. The shallower valley appears to be hanging above the main valley. Waterfall may form. Reeds. An arete is a thin, almost knife-like ridge of rock which is typically formed when two glaciers erode parallel. Separate the two valleys. The word arete is actually French for edge or ridges. Fjords and Piedmont lakes. Glacier cuts a U-shaped valley by ice segregation and abrasion of the surrounding bedrock. Fjords are deeper than the adjacent sea. Fjords generally have bedrock at their mouth caused by the previous glacier's terminal moraine. Now, let's learn about landform developed due to glacial deposition and moraine, lateral moraine, medial moraine, eskers, cave terraces, till deposits, drumlins, outwash deposits. Moraine. A moraine is any glacially formed accumulation of unconsolidated glacial debris, soil and rock. Moraines may be composed of debris ranging in size from sill-sized glacial flour to large boulders. Plucked off a valley floor as a glacier advanced, typically subangular to rounded in shape. Sheets of debris are deposited where the glacier has melted. So, basically there are three types of moraine. Three of them are end moraine, medial moraine, lateral moraine. Now, let's start with the lateral moraines. Lateral moraines. Lateral moraines are parallel ridges of debris deposited along the sides, deposited on top of the glacier by frost shattering. As the glacier melts, lateral moraines are usually preserved as high ridges. Medial moraine. A medial moraine is a ridge of moraine that runs down the center of a valley floor. It is formed when two glaciers meet. Debris on the edges of the adjacent valley sides joins. End moraine. End moraines or terminal moraines are ridges of unconsolidated debris deposited at the end of the glacier. Size and shape is determined by the glacier as advancing or receding. Esker. An esker is a long, winding ridge of sand and gravel deposits. They were deposited by streams and rivers that flowed on top of the glacier, in cracks in the glacier or, in some cases, in tunnels beneath the ice. The banks of the Esker rivers eventually melted away, leaving the gravel deposits standing as ridges, a complete reversal of topography. What had been a valley became a ridge. Came. A came is an irregularly shaped hellar mound composed of sand, gravel until that accumulates in a depression on a retreating glacier. Drumlins. Drumlins are formed of till. They're elongated features. They were formed when the ice became overloaded with sediment. When the competence of the glacier was reduced, material was deposited, in the same way that a river overloaded with sediment deposits the excess material. Outwash. These are large areas of glacial sediment deposited by meltwater streams furthest away from the glacial snout. They are formed from gravels, sands and clays, the clays being furthest away from the snout, because the smaller particles are carried furthest. Outwashes are the largest of the fluvial glacial deposits. An outwash plain might contain superficial braided stream complexes that rework the original deposits.
को करने के लिए देखिए एक तो बेसिक ट्रिक है, एक तो लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए महाकाल का से दबा के लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए।